AITA for wanting to orgasm. So I, 38F, was raised in a religious house. I'm no longer religious, but because of this, sex was kind of a no-no situation, and that included masturbation. I admit I tried a few times as a teen, but nothing came of it, no orgasm. I met my husband, 40M, after leaving home, and we waited for marriage to have sex. When we did start having sex, my husband always told me he loved the way I orgasmed on him. I didn't feel much different, so I asked him about it, and he said I would squeeze harder down there when it happened. I told him I didn't notice it much, and he told me that everyone hyped it up to be more than it actually was, and that I was in fact orgasming. I went to my OB recently for other issues, and he noticed some sensitivity I had down there. He started asking me about it affecting my sex life, and I explained what my husband told me and how I had not noticed it much. He was quiet for a minute, then asked me questions about if I masturbated, and I told him how I tried, but it never went anywhere for me. He left the room, and a female nurse came in to talk to me. She started explaining things about nerves in the vagina and how female orgasms usually work. She even told me a few things to go home and try to see if I was able to. She suggested I give it a shot, and if it doesn't work, report it to my OB so we can make sure all my nerves are functioning properly and there is no underlying issues we need to know about. I was hesitant, but later in the week my husband had to work late, and I used that time to try some stuff out. It worked, and I had my first real orgasm. I admit I was so excited I did it a few more times to be sure I wasn't just making it up in my head. It was simple and easy too. All I needed was a rub in the right spot, basically. I waited until the next time my husband asked for sex to show him, and he asked me where I learned this. I explained my doctor visit and everything, and he got angry. He said I already orgasmed during sex, even though I don't feel it, and that I should be happy with that. I told him that it wasn't difficult to do this one extra thing during sex, and I didn't see the problem because we both orgasm in the end. He said he didn't want to be bothered with it, and that if I was going to insist, we shouldn't have sex anymore. I agreed and told him we would not until he came to his senses and realized this is not a difficult ask. He said if we're not having sex anymore, we should just divorce so he can find someone else. I told him good luck, because with a dead sex life, failed 10-year marriage, and 2 kids baggage, he won't have many options. AITA for any of this? Advice please? Edit. Despite some beliefs, yes, this is a real post. There are lots of comments, and I'm trying my best to work through them. Thank you all for being so supportive so far. My husband and I aren't currently speaking. However, he did come into the kitchen earlier and said he wasn't serious about the divorce yet. I plan to give him time to calm down, and will try to talk to him tomorrow. Update. Hey everybody. Sorry my update is so late, a lot has happened and it has changed my life. So I finally sat my husband down to talk, and he wasn't happy about it. He kept saying he didn't want to do it, touching/rubbing, nor did he want to witness me doing it to myself. I kept asking why he had a problem with it, and finally he exploded. He explained to me in detail what his now deceased grandmother used to do to him every time he spent the night with her. It was awful and wrong, and my poor husband hated it. He explained that he never told because his grandmother said she would blame him and say he assaulted her and have him sent to military school. He said because of her he doesn't find doing those things sexy or fun, but disgusting. After he told me, we were both silent for a while. He mentioned that I was the only one he had told before. I suggested therapy, and he surprisingly agreed. He said if all goes well he will one day be able to help me in the bedroom. We agreed to no sex until he is comfortable enough to participate with me. Masturbation is allowed, but in private for now. He started therapy and seems more relaxed and happier. The life-changing part for me is the different perspective I have of the situation now. Initially I thought he was being an awful husband. Now I know most of it is trauma-based. That's my update for now. If interested, I may update again on my profile once we get back in the bedroom. Bye guys. Edit. Husband is not only aware of this post but pre-approved what I said here himself. I told him about my original post and showed him, and promised not to update if that's what he wanted. After his first therapy session he said to go ahead and update it, and so I wrote this and showed him ahead of posting. He has since been to therapy again.